This is the Cycle Frontier. It's an extraction shooter. That's how I've heard people describing the genre of it. I haven't played a lot of extraction shooters. I believe that people say that Hunt Showdown is like this too. So I haven't played Hunt Showdown, so I can't really compare it. But it's been a really interesting experience for me because on one level I really love this game. Like I love sort of like dropping down to sort of a familiar territory, exploring it, fighting monsters, getting loot. That loop is just really sort of rewarding for me, and it kind of compels me to want to keep playing in much the same way that State of Decay 2 does. I mean, this game actually has a lot of parallels motivation wise to State of Decay 2, in that you're going out to places where, you know, when you've played for a while, you get kind of familiar with the area, you know where to look for the best stuff, but you don't quite know where the enemies are going to be, you don't quite know what challenges you're going to face, and it's kind of hectic, and you could lose something, so you've got skin in the game, but that feeling of just sort of going out there, picking up rewards, bringing them home, and collecting stuff feels really good. That's mostly what this game is about. The place where it kind of diverges from State of Decay 2 is in its PvP. It has got an absolutely punishing PvP system that might be enough to drive me away. I don't know. So far, I haven't been driven away. I have actually kept playing it despite the frustration of PvP. And it's a system that I've seen in other games before, games that I haven't really played very much. This is the first game with this kind of PvP that I've actually played a lot of myself. By a lot, I mean, I don't know. I played for a few hours. It's not really a lot. It's more than I've played, say, the sort of dark zones in the Division, for instance, and I've not played any of the Hunt Showdown. So I should get into the game and sort of show you how it works. So before I drop down, I need to check my inventory. So my inventory is over here at the right. This is my stash on the left, just all this stuff I've accumulated. But this is the stuff I'm actually going to bring down with me to the planet's surface. So I've got a small backpack, I've got a shield, I've got a helmet, I've got a weapon, and kind of a garbage sidearm that I just happened to find in a hole somewhere. And I've got ammo for my weapons. I've got a smoke grenade because, I don't know, why not have a smoke grenade? And and some stims to heal me. You'll notice that I've got these little blue markers on some of these. That means that the item is insured. Actually, let me look. As we leave, it'll prompt me to insure stuff. I'll go to the normal difficulty map because I'm not ready for anything else. So if I drag items over here into the insurance pile, what that means is I pay some money up front. Let me take my rusty pistol and stick it in there. They're not even going to charge me anything for that. Interesting. They just don't. Oh, that pistol is just garbage. They're not going to bother insuring it. Fine, whatever. You take things. When I originally insured all of these items, I paid some money up front. And if I die and I lose my entire inventory, they're going to pay me back this amount for the stuff that I insured. At first, I was hesitant because I was like, I don't know if I can afford to buy insurance. I don't know if it's worth it. Over time, I realized it is always worth it. Because once you insure something, it's always insured. And that basically means you're going to get back more money than you put into it when you die. And since I'm inevitably going to die and lose all of my stuff at some point, it's basically just like it's a cash machine. You put a little bit of money in, you get a lot of money out when you inevitably die, and it's a little bit of comfort when you die. These weapons, because they're just insured, I will lose the weapon, but I will get money back for it. There's another way to insure things. There's a salvage method where you can pay a much more valuable resource to actually get a weapon back or get an item of gear back after you die. There's another way to get things back after you die too, which I'll show you once we get into the game. I haven't done this yet. Instead, I've basically just been using throwaway weapons. I haven't bothered to get anything that's really valuable that I care about keeping because I just get killed so much. So we're going to continue with this. We're going to head down onto the planet. So basically the loop of this game is you drop down onto this planet that it was settled originally but abandoned. And so it's full of human settlements that are sort of like, they've got stuff to salvage. Nobody lives there anymore. But it's also full of the natural world of this planet. And so there's stuff to scavenge from the natural world. There's stuff to scavenge from former human settlements. And that's what I'm here to do. By the way, I just climbed out of the pod. You turn around, and there's a much smaller pod further away, which I just find very amusing. It always freaks me out to turn around and look at the pod I just climbed out of. So basically, the way you control it is you kind of run around like any other shooter. You can aim, you can fire, that sort of thing. I can switch weapons with the mouse wheel. There's my pistol. There's my assault rifle. The Q button is my mining equipment. So I can bring a scanner here if I want to. I haven't bothered to bring one because I'm not here for scannery stuff. I got a flashlight, a binoculars, pickaxe on the Q button. On the E button, I've got my consumables. So I've got like my stimulants for healing. I've got my smoke grenade. I'm gonna equip the stimulant just so that it's ready to use if I get into trouble. And then I'm gonna get my gun out, and we're gonna start looking around. Oh, okay, there's an extraction going on. Great. I'm just gonna stay away from that direction because that's where people are. So I can look at my map here. I'm here in the south, near the water facility, near the swamp camp. I'm not near a lot of stuff. The closest extraction point to me is over in the rock pools. There's another extraction point up here that I can use. And so my goal is to get as much stuff as I can from this world and then go to one of these extraction points and get away. In the meantime, there's other players who are in this same world with me. I think up to like 3 other players at a time. I could be wrong about the numbers, are in this world too. And you see, like, somebody just escaped on that spaceship right there. So they're going home with a bunch of stuff. They're feeling good about themselves. There is specific stuff I can go after for certain rewards. Like, for instance, there are these different factions on the sort of starbase or whatever that have told me to get things. So I can go to the science campus and hunt creatures at the science campus and also deliver optic glass to complete this one. I can also get metallic alloys out of dumpsters and industrial crates. I can get circuit boards out of briefcases and luggage. So I need to keep all that stuff in mind. It feels like it might be a good idea for me to go to the science campus. It's not that far away. We can go there, kill some monsters, get some stuff. That'll probably be good. So I'm going to head in that direction. But let's talk about what is likely to happen to me as a result of going on this mission. So the outcome that I would like is that I successfully hunt creatures. Is it any creature? Yeah, it's any creature. So I successfully hunt creatures at the science campus. I collect a bunch of crap off their bodies. Hopefully I get some loot out of the containers at the science campus. Ooh, here's a little spot. Let's see if we can loot something here. This may have already been looted. Okay, I think somebody's already been through here, so I'm not going to find a lot. All right, cool. Hopefully I'll get a bunch of stuff, I'll accomplish some objectives, and then I will go to an extraction point, extract, and go home. There's about a 50% chance that that's what's going to happen. There's a 5% chance that I'll actually be killed by monsters. Most of the monsters in this area are not that threatening, and it's not that hard to avoid them. I have been killed by monsters once. And so you might see it happen again. Who knows? I could get myself into a really bad situation and get killed by monsters. So it's entirely possible that that could happen. But there's probably at least a 40% chance, if not higher, that what's really going to happen is I'm going to get all of the stuff that I want. I'm going to feel really good about it. I'm going to go call in my extraction. And what I'm going to find is that someone is actually camping my extraction point. Some other player, they're hiding in some little hidey hole where I don't see them. And as I'm approaching the extraction point, they're going to murder me, take all my stuff, and then they're going to extract with all my stuff. I've gotten the impression, I don't really know, I can't tell what these people are doing when I'm not there. The impression that I'm getting, though, is that there are some people who just opportunistically shoot you when they encounter you. And that's fine, I understand that. I get the impression there are some people who all they do is go to an extraction point and wait for somebody to approach. And then just kill them and take their stuff. That seems like a boring life. I don't know why they do that. And I could be wrong. Maybe there aren't that many people doing that. It sure feels like that's what somebody was doing a lot of the time. By the way, I'm keeping my ears out because the way to avoid getting killed is to hear another person before they get close. So when people run, they make a lot of noise. And when they get into fights, they make a lot of noise. So if I hear gunshots, if I hear footsteps, I'm going to have a little tiny panic attack. Okay, there's another extraction going on across the map. Where am I on the map right now? Okay, I'm passing the water facility. I'm still headed to the science campus. Yeah, so thunder makes me think that I'm hearing gunshots and that people are nearby. I mean, so the fact that I know I could be killed by another person any moment definitely raises the tension. Like, the adrenaline of this game is very high. But the problem is, this game is built so thoroughly around its compulsion loops, around the idea that, I'm not just here to have a good time. I'm here to get stuff. And if I end a session without having gotten stuff, the session was a waste. So yeah, so those were a couple of easy creatures. When they gather around in large numbers, they're scary. But the actual scary part of that was the fact that I fired my gun, which means that now, if there's another human nearby, they know where I am. They might have localized me by the sound, and they could be coming after me. Quickly check again. Okay, so that in the distance is the science campus. So I'm going to put some distance between me and where I was. Try to get into the darkness, hide behind a tree. But yeah, so this game is not really about, I mean, so this hunt creatures goal that I'm focusing on right now, this is great because I can accomplish this regardless of whether I successfully extract. If I get killed, I still get credit for hunting the creatures. If I lose the optics that I'm trying to pick up, those will be lost, and I'll be frustrated by that. But yeah, so occasionally you get goals that actually work whether you make it out of the out off the planet alive or not, and those are great. But most of the game is built around extracting with resources. You know, all of your progression is around spending resources. Most of your missions from the factions are about getting resources. And so if you leave the game, if you leave the planet without your resources because you got murdered by another player, you've lost everything, with very few exceptions. And that is extremely frustrating. Like, it feels like, you know, there's that you might have spent 30, 40 minutes planet side doing something, and then it's all a waste because somebody else took it from you. And that the level of frustration that comes out of that is really, really high. But it's sort of this, like, that experience comes from this confluence of multiple decisions about the game. One is to build the whole game around collecting resources. And so that means that losing resources is the worst thing that can happen to you. That's the thing that makes everything feel like a waste of time. Okay, by the way, this looks exactly like the boxes you could open, but you can't open it. Very frustrating. Don't do that. If there's a box you can open, make all boxes that look like that box be openable, please. Okay, there could be a human in here, so I gotta be very careful. Listen for them to be moving around. Let's not make a lot of moves that could make a lot of noise. Oh, this is a hidden stash with nothing in it. Cool. But yeah, so the whole game is built around extracting with resources, but a human can ruin your ability to extract with resources. And so here's the problem. Here's the other half of the problem is the fact that there's never a reason to cooperate unless you're explicitly in a group together. Like, if I was playing with a friend, and we were in this together, you know, and we were allies explicitly, then of course we wouldn't shoot each other. In fact, I don't even know if it lets you shoot each other. I don't know if there's friendly fire when you're explicitly with an ally. Because I don't have any friends, so, you know, I don't play with other people. Is this stuff things I can pick up? No, it looks like it's not. Not a lot of creatures here. Am I actually in the right place? Yes, I am. But if you encounter a human in the wild, here's the problem. You might be a nice person, right? Like I consider myself a nice person. I actually have no motivation to shoot other people and take their stuff. I like scavenging. I like shooting creatures and taking their stuff. I like finding boxes that are not fake and taking stuff out of boxes. I mean, you know, one of the reasons I play my own game so much is because I really like scavenging. It's a lot of fun for me. And so I don't feel like I need to scavenge from people's dead bodies. I'm happy to scavenge from the world. I would be happy to leave somebody alone if I encountered them and just not bother them or even help them, you know? The problem is, because I don't know them, because I don't trust them, and because there are so many people in this world who the main thing that they're there to do... Oh, there's a monster I want to fight. The main thing they're there to do is fight other people just because they like ruining their day and because the impact of killing someone does ruin their day so thoroughly. Oh, crap. Great. There's going to be a storm. Those are interesting. That means that because they might be motivated to shoot me, I have to preemptively shoot them first. Like, there was a time, one time, I've only ever killed one other person in PvP in this game. Oh, crap. I didn't see that guy coming. I've only ever killed one person in PvP before. And they had not done anything to me yet. I was just waiting to extract. And they showed up at the extraction point. They came up the stairs, coming towards the same ship that I was on, that I was going to take. And basically, I shot them the moment I saw them and killed them. And that is not something I would have done under normal circumstances. Like, that was not why I was there. I wasn't there to kill other humans. I would rather not meet them at all. Okay, we killed 3 creatures here. That's good. We're taking stuff off their corpses. That's good. Picking up some other things. But because I knew that I didn't know who they were. They might be willing to attack me. They might be there explicitly to attack me. I had to shoot them first. Because if I didn't, I was basically asking for them to ruin my day. And so the incentives of this game line up in such a way that basically you are required by game theory to always attack first, to always attack preemptively if you can. Because if you don't, they might attack you. And actually, I mean, that's kind of the way that human society worked, you know, like pre-civilization. That was how human society worked, was that, you know, you would always have to, if you saw another person and you didn't know who they were, you essentially were required to attack them. Because if you didn't, they could attack you, and then you've lost your life, and you only get one of those. Okay, so somebody is actually extracting really close to me. Okay, they're getting on that ship. They've already gotten on, which means they're waiting on that ship. If I try to get on that ship, it's going to be a problem. Now, I want to extract before the storm. I don't know if I have time. They just gave me the 5-minute warning a couple of minutes ago. So I might not have time to make it. If I don't have time to make it... Oh, yay, healing. Then I might have to wait out the storm. Which is, you know, I guess maybe that'll be an opportunity for me to look at the chat, because waiting out the storm is boring. But whatever, it's fine. We're going to get to see the full range of what this game has to offer. Okay, so I only killed 3 creatures at the science campus, but I'm pretty sure that's all there was there. Hello, friend. Yeah, so when you're only fighting one of these guys, they're not that hard. You just have to move laterally, and their beam will miss you. They really make a lot out of the fact that your weapon bounces around a lot. I think you can get a weapon that's got a lot less recoil, but you have to really invest in it. And right now, that is not what I have. So, oh, by the way, one thing I should do, just in case there's a human around here who's going to shoot me, I should open my inventory and use one of my safe pockets. So I've collected a bunch of valuable stuff here. And if I get killed, I'll lose all of it. But, like, I know, for instance, I've been trying to save these up. So I've got safe pockets. I can carry 7 pounds of stuff in these safe pockets. And what happens is, if I die and I lose all my stuff, the stuff in the safe pockets stays. And so the safe pockets are very, very small. You can only carry a few things in them. And you can level them up over time, but it takes time. And right now, I'm still pretty early in the game, and so I've only got 7 pounds of safe pocket. You start with 5. Okay, evac will go offline in 1 minute due to the storm. It's also going to get extremely dark. And I want to be indoors in a place where I'm less likely to get struck by lightning. This might be the place. Okay, the water facility is actually further south. Let me see if I can get into the water facility. Oh, these are full of stuff. Yay. Let me see if I can get into the water facility, which is down this way. Just because there might be more to loot here during the storm. Oh, but there's also going to be enemies. Crap, wasn't thinking about that. Okay. There must be... Oh, crap. More of these guys. Come on. Oh, there's a locked door. That's not what I was hoping for. I need a place to get inside. Because I'm pretty sure lightning doesn't strike inside. Because lightning will murder you. Oh, everything's locked. I didn't realize that the water facility was full of locked doors. That's a problem. I should not have come here. Okay. It's starting to rain more. Okay, this was a bad plan. This was a bad plan. Okay, nope. Okay, when I start seeing that stuff around me, I have to start running. Okay, let's go, I don't know, northwest, I guess? Ow. Okay, I just took a lot of health damage for no reason. Smart move, dude. Let's Let's use a bunch of my stims here. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Oh, there's so many enemies. I'm not fighting these guys while I have to also contend with lightning. I'm just going to keep running. So I think lightning explicitly targets people. I think there's something about me that makes me particularly attractive to lightning. So I think if I keep moving, I'm safer than if I hold still. I'm definitely going to use some health consumables. Okay, get my health a little bit higher. Okay, this is... I think this might actually be a landing pad, but not one I'm allowed to use. So the map is littered with extraction points, but most of them... Oh, crap, lightning. Most of them you're not allowed to use, or at least you're not allowed to call in extractions. You only get 2 places at any given time where you can call in an extraction. Now, you can use... I believe you can use other people's extractions that they call in. Oh, crap. Ah, well, this is certainly more exciting than waiting it out. My stamina's getting low. And there's a monster trying to laser me. Okay, here's some kind of shelter. This doesn't feel like shelter. Okay, there... Oh, see, that's the thing you don't want to have happen to you. Oh, gosh. Okay, oh, here's... This is some shelter. Okay, I'm probably safe from lightning in here. I don't know if I'm safe from other things, but I think I'm safe from lightning. I guess I can, like, poke around in here while the storm is going on. I'm glad there's lighting in here. Sometimes you end up in a place that's completely dark. And you have to get your flashlight out instead of your gun. And I kind of prefer to have my gun out. Ooh, metallic alloys. That's one of the things I'm trying to collect. Awesome. Oh, man, it's going to be frustrating if I lose all of this stuff. Actually, you know what? How heavy are the alloys? They're 5. Okay, you know what? These spine bits, I can get anywhere. Let's keep this stuff. Because metallic alloys are really hard to find. Okay, so I think I'm safe enough. I don't think there's any other humans in here, so let me actually look at the chat. Hi, chat. Sorry, I've just, like, this game, I have to constantly maintain my awareness of what's around me in order to not die. And so that's why I've been not paying attention to you. But let me actually read here. So, whatever Tube 11 asks, what is the main point of the cycle? I feel like I've probably mostly answered that along the way, but let me sort of, yay, second metallic alloys. I really hope I extract now. But yeah, the main point is basically to, the game is seasonal. And each season you get a bunch of, missions you can accomplish. It will sort of, give you, currencies and rewards and things like that. So you're trying to earn all of those rewards. You're trying to, level yourself up. But really, even outside of the season, even without those rewards going, there's just a whole resource system of, you can sort of invent or craft or buy better weapons, better gear, make yourself more powerful, and also just get rich enough that you're willing to take risks. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I could afford to buy that I don't buy because I might lose it. And because I might lose it, like, basically, like, if I've got $70,000, I'm not going to buy a $10,000 gun because I'm going to lose 1/7 of my wealth once I die. I'm going to buy a $200 gun. And so it's not until I go up an order of magnitude of wealth that I'm actually willing to use fancier gear. So you're trying to get richer, you're trying to collect more resources so that you can feel comfortable buying and using better and better equipment, which makes you more capable of handling tougher challenges, of surviving encounters with players, of killing more monsters, of getting into sort of tougher locations and going for more valuable resources. So it's this kind of like, escalating game where you're trying to get richer, but to get richer, you have to take bigger risks. So I think because a lot of people try to extract before the storm, I usually feel safer extracting right after the storm is over. So I'm going to head towards my extraction point. There's no guarantees, though. There could very easily be another person headed right for this extraction point that I'm headed for. In which case, I'm probably screwed. Like, I have zero confidence in my ability to defeat another human. I've only done it once. I tend to play shooters on console, and so my mouse game is just not great. Oh, there's some little bursting bugs over there. How close am I to my destination? Okay. I think Rock Pools is this facility right there past this pool. And so I could fight those little monsters. However, fighting the little monsters will attract the attention of nearby humans. And because I'm trying to extract alive, and I'm going to stay here. I'm not going to just move on after I fight these guys. Oh, crap. I don't want to fight him, though. I really don't want to fight him. I was trying to find a door into this building, because this building might have neat stuff in it. Oh, they're coming after me, aren't they? Get the crap away from me. Go away. Oh, gosh, they're everywhere. Is this going to be the second time that a monster has ever killed me in this game? I really hope not. Okay. I guess I am shooting them. I think this is a bad... I can still hear one. Okay. I think shooting that monster was a bad plan. Because I have to extract here. I'm not just going to move on and be gone. I actually have to stay. And so, if that gunshot just attracted a human, that could have been my downfall. More of these little idiots, but I'm going to try to get someplace they can't reach me. Can they go upstairs? Probably. Okay, I'm going to shoot him. Because whatever. So yeah, it's entirely possible that I've just attracted a human and I'm screwed. Okay, I'm hearing this. Okay. Push Y to contact evac ship. Okay, the evac ship is on its way. I'm going to see if there's anything valuable here that I need. There, like, for instance, I'm looking for optics. This seems like the kind of place that might have optics. But... okay, there we go. Optics. Nice. But now I actually need to figure out where is the ship really going to land. Because you only have a few seconds to get on the ship, and I actually have not... I have not identified the landing pad. Oh, is that it over there, maybe? Well, here comes the ship. I can hear the ship. And actually, it'd be really funny if I screwed up my extraction. Okay, I can't get out from here. Okay, it landed over there. Okay. I'm jumping off this. Okay, so again, a human could have seen that coming. They also could have heard my gunshots. Oh, screw you! Okay, I've gotten on. A human has not killed me yet. This is a scary one. Oh, good. We made it. We made it without ever even seeing another human. We saw their extraction ships. We didn't actually see a human. So, good. This went well. I was actually scared the first thing you were ever going to see me do was just get murdered by somebody. So we got a bunch of good stuff. We got out. The loot value is actually higher than my usual loot value. So that's good. And we completed some of these missions. We visited the science campus. We didn't quite get everything done on the science campus, but we're ready to turn in this one, so that's good. And, oh, I got optic glass. That's right, for one of my other missions. And that's it. So this would normally list my encounters with other humans, but I didn't have any, so there we go. I just evacuated. Okay, so we're going to return to the station. Ooh. Oh, I've leveled up, too. Okay, good. This is actually nice, because you're going to get to see me collect a whole bunch of different kinds of prizes. Oh, so anyway, catching up with the chat, I answered one early question. Apparently, I got raided while I was distracted. Sorry about that I didn't notice. Thank you, people who raided me. I hope some of you are still around. I really appreciate that. Yeah, so folks are talking about how they never trust pirates in Sea of Thieves. That is another game where it's like you've got a lot of incentives to just attack other people when you see them, and cooperating is like, why would you do that? Because you're at such risk all the time. Let's see here. Average Twitch user asks, has there been any idea for normal survivors in State of Decay 2 to be able to combine skill? You know what? That's a very detailed State of Decay question. I think I'm going to skip that one, actually, for now. So La Coalition was asking about when I talked about encountering humans. He's asking, are you talking about encountering NPC humans or other players? So yeah, other players. There are no NPC humans when you're a planet side. There's NPC humans here who can sell you stuff, but on planet side, the only people who are there are potential PvP villains. So let me see. Who do I need to turn stuff into? So I need to turn stuff into the ICA, and I need to turn stuff into Osiris. Okay. Let's go to the ICA first.
How can the ICA help?
So I'm going to get a bunch of fancy stuff from them. So we're going to claim that. And they're going to unlock a new mission, which is to go to the woodcutter camp, hunt creatures. Yes, I love hunt creature missions. And get Azure Tree Bark, which I think is actually not that hard to find. Okay, cool. So that actually is a pretty decent one. Oh, I've already got some tree bark too. So great. Let's also look at... Okay, I haven't unlocked jobs yet for them. So
remember, the ICA is always here for you.
Cool. So there's the ICA. I've also done a job for Osiris. So let's go and clear that up.
Is there something you need?
It was this job. So I'm going to claim this.
Good. I'll mark that
I got
as
some
completed,
prizes.
then.
Yay.
Very well.
Now, is there another job I can get now? Yes. Hunt creatures at the science campus. Well, you know what? I've already got an assignment to do that.
Able to handle that?
So that's great. I love... this is like getting 2 bounties that ask you to do the same thing in State of Decay 2. I love getting 2 missions that ask you to do the same thing. It feels so efficient. But, okay, so now that I'm back, I should go through my inventory and just eject everything. Oh, it just... I love it when you interact with an inventory and it just reshuffles itself. So I'm going to drop all of this stuff in my stash out of my regular inventory. And that too. And now I'm kind of back to what I had before. I didn't end up using a smoke grenade because I honestly don't know what they're for, and the only reason I brought them was just to see what they were for. Let's grab some more of those stimulants. So I'm equipped for my next mission, but there's still other stuff I need to grab here. So yeah, average Twitch user, combining multiple skills in State of Decay 2, it's not really a thing we would probably consider doing, except, I mean, the Red Talon characters, all of their skills are combinations of other skills. So in one sense, we did do that. It's the Red Talon characters. If you want skills like that, play a Red Talon character. But I don't think there's really a good reason to let characters have multiple specialties in the same skill, because specialization is what makes your characters individually valuable. Why you want to switch to one character instead of another, because one of them has marathon and the other one has acrobatics or whatever. It lets you specialize the character, so there's a reason to have multiple characters. That's actually one of the key motivating factors that we've got in our systems in State of Decay, is that we want you to think of your multiple people as being necessary. It's not a lone wolf game. It's not really a game where it's about surviving on your own as a rugged individual. It's about building a community of people with different specialties who are all valuable in their own way. And so it's actually just one of like the main pillars of the game to have all these distinctions between characters. So I don't think that it would make sense for us to violate that. Okay, so this is my season pass, basically. I haven't paid for it, which means that the locked things I don't get. But I do get free rewards, and so because I've leveled it up, I can claim this and get some stuff, some resources. I don't know what I got. Probably would make sense because my inventory is just so full of stuff. I have genuinely no idea what I just got. Probably some neat stuff, but I don't know. Enumerating exactly what I got would probably be a smart move at that particular moment. So let's go to my quarters now. So my quarters is where I sort of... It's like some cookie clicker stuff going on in here. Like, I've got these income generators where basically I pay resources to set these things up, and they basically give me free stuff whenever I come in. And so Aurum is the hard currency. I can get some of that. K-marks are the soft currency. I've got some of that now. I get a supply crate, which contains... Oh, see, okay, this one tells me what was in it. Okay, awesome. So I just got a shotgun, a fancy backpack, some protective gear. Cool. Glad I got that. And so this is actually really helpful because even if I have a catastrophic series of extractions where I just lose everything, I've always got this that will feed me more stuff. And so I've always got something. Even if I just play once a day, I will always have some stuff to keep me going. So that's a smart move, considering how frustrating it could get, like what a death spiral you could potentially get into in this game. I appreciate that. So let's look at my upgrades that I can grab here. That I can't afford yet. So this could improve my daily crate, but I don't have all of this stuff. I've got high danger areas. So this, I've got almost enough nickel. I've got no aluminum because this is found in high danger areas, which I stay out of. So cool. The Aurum generator, I just got 18 Aurum. I can afford to upgrade this to get more. Aurum is, the main thing I've seen that Aurum is spent on is on the better kind of insurance where you can salvage your favorite equipment. And so if I was going to start using fancy equipment instead of the generic equipment that I take with me right now, I would want enough Aurum to pay for it to be salvaged. So I'm just saving up Aurum until I get to the point where I actually feel like I'm ready to do that. So getting more Aurum would be good for me because it would get me closer to that goal. I could also, this is how fast I generate Aurum. Because I don't play that often, this is less important than the cap, because basically while I'm gone, it'll fill it up to the cap, and then I'll just grab it at the cap. If I was playing all the time, then the rate at which it generates would also be important for me to level up, but I don't feel like that's super important right now. Kmark's generator cap. So again, this is the currency I actually use more often, so I can increase that. That seems valuable. Okay, so I've got the resources to do all of these things, which is great, but this is only one of the types of things I can upgrade. My inventory is actually more interesting. So this is my safe pocket capacity. I could take it from 7 to 9, but I would need aluminum scrap, nutritional bars, and Korolev script. Korolev script is what I get for doing jobs for one of the factions. I've done 2 so far. We need a bunch more. And these are fancy things I've never gotten. So this is going to be out of my reach for a little while. This, my stash, which is what I just moved everything from my inventory into my stash. Oh, this would upgrade it by another 10 slots. That seems pretty valuable. I'm going to build this one. So I'm going to build that one first, and then later on I'm going to come back. After that takes 11 minutes to build. So after that's done building, I'm going to come back and see if I can build something else too. But yeah, so that is one round of the Cycle Frontier. Let me go and look at the chat again and see what... I'm sure I've missed a ton of stuff here. We've still got discussion going of that State of Decay 2 topic there. So La Coalition says that now he really wants me to play Vigor to see how I feel about that game in comparison to this game. Yeah, so again, like, I avoid games that are really a lot about that sort of like PvP ruining your day. Like there are some PvP games I really love. I play Call of Duty's multiplayer, religiously for a few months after every time a new Call of Duty comes out. But that's very low cost, PvP. It's like each time you die, whatever. It affects my stats a little bit, but I'm just going to come right back and keep fighting. And I don't feel like I've lost a lot with each death. And so I feel less like I'm ruining somebody else's day, and somebody doesn't get to have the pleasure of ruining my day. But with a game like this, where somebody really could ruin my day, it's just it's so frustrating. I often feel like, like if it happens multiple times in a row, if I have multiple missions where I go down and I got a bunch of stuff, and then I lost all of that stuff to a PvP player, it starts to feel like I'm wasting my time. And that's an experience you don't want players to have. Like, no matter how your game works, no matter how you're motivating players, you don't want them to feel like their time was wasted. And so that's why they have the safe pockets. That's why they have the objectives you can complete without having to take anything home. They're trying to make it feel like, there's at least something you got out of it. Like, if you are playing with any kind of thoughtfulness, you will always emerge with something. So that you don't feel like you wasted your time entirely. But the difference between, having a completely full inventory of stuff that you pile into your stash and you just got tons and tons of stuff as a result, versus coming back with one tiny thing in your safe pocket, that's still a really dramatic difference. And so, like, because I feel like my time is so valuable, there's so many demands on my time. As a player, if I have a failed extraction where I get killed and I lost everything, it feels like I spent my time poorly. And that's a level of regret that goes beyond the game and makes me feel like not playing the game. Which is tough because actually, like, you saw, me running around, scavenging things, shooting monsters. This is a fun game. I really, really I just enjoy the moment-to-moment of playing this game. And so it's interesting because I think if the game was mostly about that experience, like if it was, say, if they pushed even harder in that direction and just making, the excitement of playing the game be the main thing you're there to do, and then sometimes you get killed by a person, but whatever. Like, that's kind of what Call of Duty is about. It's the excitement of playing the game is the reason you're playing. It's got a system of earning rewards and leveling up, but that's less important. It's the sort of a thing that helps keep you going, but the moment to moment is actually more important. And actually, one thing I've noticed is when I let the compulsion loops of Call of Duty, when I let sort of unlocking stuff become my main motivation, like you saw there, I did a video earlier on about, like, trying to get my my diamond skins for my weapons in Call of Duty, and I found that when I got really focused on earning the diamond skins and I was warping all of my play around trying to use the weapons that I needed to level up and to get the diamond skins, my motivations became entirely extrinsic at that point. They became entirely about my rewards and not about the gameplay. And the moment I got my last diamond skin, I stopped playing Call of Duty Vanguard. Even though I enjoyed it, I was tired and I had gotten the reward and I was done. And so it's very easy for a game that's got both intrinsic motivations to play, like just the game itself is fun, and extrinsic motivations, which is you're trying to get rewards. When you got both of those, if you let the rewards take over too much, you're risking pushing the players away when they fail to get a reward, when it gets frustrating, or when they get the reward they were going for and they're tired. Then you can lose players that way. And so it's going to be an interesting thing to see how my experience, because I'm still enjoying the Cycle Frontier, even with the frustration. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. Am I going to get so focused on the rewards of the game that losing the rewards to a PvP player is going to become like intolerable, and I'm not going to be able to keep playing the game anymore because it's too frustrating, and will I get driven away? That's entirely possible. In fact, it seems likely given my past experience with other games. Or is the fun of running around in this world? I mean, you saw when the storm hit, I got full of anxiety and full of adrenaline. I was running around trying to dodge the lightning bolts, like, and I was like, I have to get under cover, but I don't know where cover is. Like, that feeling is kind of a fun feeling. It's an exciting feeling, and it's what I come to this game for. And so, like, if I stay focused on that feeling and I kind of don't care that much about the rewards, and if I can keep myself on an economic even keel where, even though I'm failing extractions, I still have enough to keep going and I never feel like I've just gotten into a death spiral and I've lost everything. If I can keep that going, then I might keep enjoying this game for a long period of time. But that remains to be seen. And it's just interesting for me to, as a game designer, to think about all the different incentives that they've got in the game for me to play it and enjoy it, and wondering how the balance is going to play out. Because, the next game I design might have, games almost by their nature tend to have this, so I'm not revealing anything about my next game. It's going to have intrinsic rewards for playing, and it's going to have extrinsic rewards for playing. And thinking about the balance of that, and how, and how frustrating it can be to have one or the other of those not work. But one thing that's nice about having both is that, if the gameplay, like if something frustrating happens with the rewards, you might still keep playing because the gameplay is fun. And similarly, if the gameplay gets frustrating, like you're running into bugs or weird glitches and things are going wrong, but you still really want to get that fancy gun, the fancy gun might keep you in the game even through the moment-to-moment frustration. But if you sort of unbalance the game so that the game is all about one and not the other, then you lose out. Like if the one that the player is focused the most on and they're ignoring the other one, if that one gets frustrating, they've got no fallback. Kind of the way that, like, I got to the point where I was playing Call of Duty Vanguard just for the rewards. When I got the rewards, I stopped playing. And it's entirely possible that the Cycle Frontier will end up, like, motivating me so much with the extrinsic rewards that when losing those gets too frustrating, I could quit playing the game. So that's sort of what I'm thinking about when I'm playing this game as a game designer. I'm sort of wondering to myself, how is this going to go? And I feel like, watching my own experience with this game and how the different motivations for playing play out in my head and what the end result of it is for me, I think will be very informative for me as a game designer, seeing how I should design experiences for other people. Let's see here. That's, again, a lot of me just pontificating and not reading the chat. So sorry about that. See here, MacMert is wondering, am I gonna largely play this game solo? Yeah, that is just how I play. It's very rare for me to actually find a game that I want to play with other people. If so, right now I'm pretty sure this game is only available on PC. If they did a console version, I might try to get my sister to play it with me because she has an Xbox, and we have played games like, say, Deep Rock Galactic together and stuff, and that's and she might get into this with me. The frustration might also drive her away. I'm really not sure. So maybe I could play with her if it's available on console. We'll have to see. But generally, my general rule is I tend to play these games solo, and I use that to my advantage. Like there's other people that I work with who play most of their games multiplayer, and they give me a lot of insights into what it's like to be playing as a primarily co-op player. I tend to consciously, because I'm more comfortable playing solo, I tend to explicitly think of myself as like, okay, I'm representative of a solo player. What is my experience like? And then I learn as much about that experience as I can, and I share that information with other people that I work with. So MacBert says, I've heard this game is full of cheaters. Be careful. I don't know how I would tell if someone's a cheater. Certainly, if someone is a cheater in this game, I mean, this is the kind of game that would attract cheaters, and griefers. Because basically, I believe that a griefer, the main thing that they get out of playing a game is being able to ruin someone else's day. And the more... The greater the impact they can have on somebody else's level of frustration, the more attractive the game is. And so because this game is very high on potential frustration, you have so much at stake when you're out there on the planet's surface, it is going to be a magnet for people who are griefers and people who are just will... they're not really there to have fun with the game. They're there to have fun messing with other people. And those same motivations also will lead people to cheat. They'll lead people to just not want to play the game the normal way because they're playing a different meta game than everyone else. Their game is about your experience being griefed by them. It's not really about the game itself. So I could totally see a game like this being a magnet for people who want to play that way because the level of potential frustration is so high for their victims. So Ripcore84 wants to know, am I using a Blue Yeti microphone, and are these Sony MX3 or 4 for my headphones? I actually forgot. These are Sony headphones. I've forgotten what model of headphone they are, and it doesn't say on the surface, so sorry, it's been a while since I bought them, and that's when I knew what they were. So sorry I can't tell you that, but yeah, this is a Blue Yeti microphone. And it's working great for me. I mean, I know that there's people who are absolute purists about audio equipment who consider it to be at best a mid-range mic, and you should always have something better. I'm not an absolute purist. As long as you can hear me clearly and it doesn't sound distracting, I'm fine. And so the Blue Yeti has served me really well. So Raneth Court, actually, this is a good question. I didn't actually get into this. Raneth Court asks, and I think he said that Ripcore asked this earlier, and I didn't catch it. What is the business model for this game? Are there microtransactions, season passes, DLCs? So I believe that the main monetization that they want you to get involved with is the season pass. And so that's this. So if I hit this button... Oh, wait, you can't see this. Hold on. So if I hit this button and buy the season pass, I'm pretty sure that this costs real money. I haven't actually clicked the button because I don't want to. If I buy it, maybe it could be that it costs just a hard currency, and maybe I have enough for my first one. I haven't explored this at all. Maybe I should because you asked the question. I'll click it. Okay. So it costs 950 ARA, which I don't have. And actually, it would take me forever to earn. On my own to buy the season pass. So I would probably need to purchase the hard currency in order to buy the season pass. But yeah, and what I get out of that is you can see that I've got this sort of schedule of rewards. I'm constantly earning experience by performing daily actions. You can see these are the experience that I'm getting. So if I level up a faction, if I get a job completed, upgrade my quarters, which I'm in the middle of working on, that sort of thing, then that's going to get me experience. And then the experience feeds into, whoops, I went too far. That feeds into unlocking these tiers of rewards. And so the schedule of rewards is going to unlock for me whether I bought the pass or not. If I buy the pass, though, then the fancier permanent rewards are unlocked for me. These little padlocks here are on hard currency. They're on permanent rewards. The thing that's interesting is, so this entire game, a lot of this game resets after the season is over. And that kind of surprised me. A lot of the, not just the season pass itself, but a lot of my other progress, my progress with the factions, stuff like that, it all resets when the season is over. The only thing that you get to keep is your cosmetics that are unlocked as part of the season pass. So this outfit this gun skin, that sort of thing. That's the stuff that you keep. And so if I want to keep something from this, I have to buy the season pass. So that's interesting. That's a, but it's all cosmetic. None of this stuff is required for me to enjoy the game. For me to none of it is I don't have to have it in order to succeed. But if I want to have something be permanent, then I have to buy the season pass. And then there's also, I believe that there are also other things that cost hard currency. Like, for instance, if I were to deploy right now, and I wanted to hold on to a piece of equipment, I could spend Aurum on that. I could spend the hard currency. And so if I wanted to just always keep my equipment and never lose it because it's always being salvaged for me, I could feed a bunch of money into this game and get the hard currency, which I can spend on keeping my stuff. So as far as I can tell, those are the main two monetization methods: spending money to keep your stuff that you would lose if you died, and also spending money on permanent upgrades, permanent cosmetic upgrades via the season pass. And so it's really just, it is permanence that is the thing they're trying to sell, which, and they've made a game where almost everything is losable. Everything can be, funged into something else, or everything can be, lost if you die. And so or it could be lost because the season ends. And so because there's so much loss in this game, they're relying on my loss aversion to get me to spend money. The Coalition asks, is this one of those games with double currencies? Yeah, you can see in the upper right-hand corner of the screen over there that there are two currencies. The K is the soft currency, which is the stuff that I'm just spending all the time on, like if I wanted to pick up some, some more stimulants, I could just say, yeah, I'm going to spend some soft currency on the stimulants. Boop, I've got some more stimulants now. And you're just constantly earning it and constantly spending it, and it's no big deal. The Aurum, the gold currency, that is only gotten from the generator in my quarters. And actually, you know what? I wonder if 11 minutes have passed. Are we ready to grab another upgrade in my quarters? That's the stuff that's generated by my Aurum generator, which right now, okay, it's 0.42 Aurum per hour. So that's pretty slow. It's generated here, and I can buy it. And I think those might be the only places I can get it. So yeah, okay, we can start another thing. So let's upgrade the cap on my Aurum generator. So that is going to start. And maybe when we start our next session here, we'll upgrade that again. Maybe we'll hang out in here for a little bit so that we can buy another upgrade again before we go. But yeah, so that's how that works. Oh, so Ripcore asks, is it like a mobile game where faster progress? It has faster progress if you invest. You're right. That is the other thing that hard currency is for that I actually forgot, that I forgot to point out, is that my upgrades here, they take time. We acknowledge that, but I didn't actually talk about it. Wait, what would I? Oh, it was the generator. That's right. So this one that I'm working on right here is going to take 1 minute and 11 seconds. And that's really quick, and it doesn't matter. As I go down this tech tree, it's going to take longer and longer and longer. But if I want to skip it, I can spend currency. I can spend soft currency, which is not very much of it, or I can spend a much smaller amount of hard currency. So I can make things that take time go a lot faster by spending currency. And there's another place. Let me go back to the station, because there's another place that I haven't shown you yet, where a lot of the, if I go to the shop over here, the weapons that are available are just the dirt, simple, bottom tier weapons. All of these are the weapons everybody has. There's no big deal. They're just not important. And they're cheap. They're not that great, but it's fine. And that's the only thing I use right now. There are other stores, the faction stores, which you unlock stuff at the faction stores by completing jobs. They offer fancier weapons, but you really have to put the time into earning these weapons. And they cost way more currency. You'll see, I could spend all of the money I have right now just getting one gun like this, and if I lose it, it's gone, which is a nightmare. And so I could buy this one, and I'm fine, but as this goes up, I really would have to have a fundamentally different thing going on economically in order to be able to afford guns like this. But there's another place where you can get guns, and that's over here at the crafting station. So if I go over here, a lot of those same kinds of guns are available. So these are extremely fancy. They cost just tons and tons of money. But you can also get consumables and armor and basic supplies here. And basically, you just need resources that you collected from the world and a little bit of money, and you can print them. But they take time. They take like 15 minutes. And so if you want one now and you're impatient, then again you can, you know, get them started and then spend currency to speed up the time. And so yes, you're absolutely right. This is like a mobile game in a lot of ways, or at least that style of mobile game, in that you spend money to save time. Ripcore asks, would you classify this as free to play or pay to win? Good question. I don't think so. Those two types of games are basically the same type of game. They're just different extremes on the same spectrum, where, you know, a game can be free to play and then you spend money on stuff that doesn't really matter to your victory, and the question of victory is still, you know, very balanced. And then the far extreme, there's, you know, basically whoever spent the most money on stuff is the person who's going to win everything. And there's the games who are sort of like in between, where it's like, you know, where the amount of money you spend can matter more or less to the quality of the experience. Certainly games that don't have PvP, having them be pay to win is almost like, it's not even really much of a question, because you're not really winning. You're just competing with yourself to see how high you can go. Maybe there are leaderboards or something, and people can pay to excel in leaderboards, but you just decide if you care about that. I've seen very few games where the leaderboards are really the center of your experience. But games with PvP, where, you know, if you're a person who's spending money, you can have much fancier stuff, and then that leads to your victory. I think there's a decent chance that actually is an issue with this game, because, you know, like, I don't feel like I can afford to get those fancier weapons, and I think that there are ways that I could spend money to. Okay, no, here's the problem. Okay, yeah, so a lot of those weapons that I was looking at, they cost soft currency, and I don't know if there's a way for me to buy soft currency. I actually, you know what? I haven't really looked into what the process of buying hard currency is, and whether I could buy soft currency. I don't know if I could actually put myself on really, really solid economic ground where I don't care about losing my stuff, and I can just, you know, bring in the fanciest guns and the fanciest everything without having worked for it, and then win every encounter with other players because I've just got better equipment than them. I don't know if that's actually a viable path. It might be that actually to get and hold on to, holding on to the fanciest equipment, being willing to use it because you know you're going to salvage it back, that does depend on spending money. And so having the confidence to bring fancy equipment into a PvP area, that does come, you get a lot more confidence with that from wealth. And that means that, like, for instance, I can afford to buy a fancier gun, but I refuse to because losing it would be so painful. If I was spending money on this game and I wasn't scared of losing, and I got rid of my loss aversion by spending money, then I would bring fancier equipment in, and then I would be more capable of fighting. Yeah, so it's interesting. So it's not access to the fancy equipment that I'm getting that I would get by spending money. It's confidence with the fancy equipment that I would get by spending money. But that's a serious factor. So yeah, so I think that this game is not all the way over on the pay-to-win spectrum from what I've seen. It's not like I just buy a fancy gun and then I beat everyone. That's the worst case scenario, and this game is not on that end of the spectrum. But the fact that I, as a non-paying player, am really motivated to bring only the cheapest equipment, which puts me as a disadvantage to other players who are confidently bringing in the fanciest stuff all the time because they can afford it, that does, I think, put it closer to the pay-to-win end of the spectrum, and could potentially be frustrating. So yeah, that's where I would, but again, I'm still fairly new to this game. I haven't played it enough. There could be factors in this that I'm not fully aware of. So I'm not going to, like, condemn the game to the bin of pay to win, because I don't feel like I fully understand the whole thing yet, and there might be things that I don't know. But I know there's definitely people where, like, everyone sets their own levels. Like, for me, I'm comfortable playing this game. I know that, you know, there's ways for me to avoid the rich players who are coming in and just annihilating people. I can have fun even in a setting that's pay to win, and so I'm still okay with it. I know there's some players for whom, if they get a whiff of pay to win from a game, the game is anathema to them and they cannot enjoy it. And so if you're that kind of player, this game might very well be over the line for you, and that's totally understandable. For me, it's not yet over the line. But I could see, like, over time as I play it, as I understand it better, I could very well decide that it's not worth it to me, for all of the reasons that I've cited throughout this video. So let's see here. So I'm trying to catch up with the chat here again. Like, for people who watch this later on YouTube who can't see the chat, sorry about that, because I'm just sitting here staring off into space and it looks like I'm doing nothing. Which is one reason I actually sometimes fail to engage with the chat, is because I'm so anxious about boring the people who watch later on YouTube. AP Vision has another question about State of Decay 2, about when the next update's coming out, which I can't answer right now, but I am hosting the next official State of Decay 2 stream on the 18th, and so maybe I might be able to give you more information then. So Corndog says, actually, after watching this video, they want to try to play Vigor again. So enough people have mentioned Vigor now that maybe I should try it out just to see what it is, because I don't know enough about it. And if there's enough people in my audience that are playing it and have strong feelings about it, maybe I should try it out too. So Ripcore says, I guess it also depends on with who you get dropped in with. Like, if they're... Oh, that is a really good point you're making. And he says that, you know, if they can recognize that I am a cheapo player who is not buying a lot of fancy stuff, you know, if they deliberately paired me with other players who were like that, versus, you know, and then have the players who are spending a lot of money and who are getting fancy things, pairing them with each other... If they're doing that, that does make it a lot less pay to win, because then you're kind of stratified in a way where if you're paying, you're not paying to beat players who aren't paying, you're paying to compete with players who are paying just like you. That would definitely push it further away from the pay-to-win end of the spectrum. I don't know if they're doing that. I have definitely... A lot of the people who've killed me who have had equipment that is completely comparable to mine. And they just got the drop on me, and they were better at this kind of game than me, and that's why they won. And so that's actually... That might be one reason why I have not gotten frustrated with the whole pay-to-win question, because they show you, when you get killed by someone, they show you what that person was using. They show you their inventory immediately. And so you can tell, oh... They're using the same gun I just suck. And that's actually really, really valuable. It's a very smart decision on their part. Because occasionally I do get killed by somebody who has a gun that is a tier above mine. I've never been killed by somebody who had a gun that was like 5 tiers above me. I have been killed by people who had a gun that was a tier above me, something I could have bought, but that I was too nervous to buy. And in those cases, they're like, oh, yeah, they've got a fancier gun. Of course they beat me, whatever. But again, because it wasn't the fanciest gun, I still don't feel that much frustration. So it could be that very few people even have those guns, and they're not putting any effort into it. And just by chance, I've only been fighting the people who are fairly equivalent to me. Or it could be that they're deliberately putting me with people who are at about my same level, which means that the pay-to-win question just isn't affecting me. So that's a very, very good point, Ripcore, and I think that might actually take some of the pay-to-win stink off this, if that's what they're doing. But because I don't understand it under the hood, so I don't know what they're doing, so I can't, you know, condemn them or give them a pass on that particular thing. And I tend not to condemn people for things anyway. Whatever, you know. There's pay-to-win games out there, and people love paying to win on those games, and it's okay if those games exist. I don't have anything against them. I think that, you know, a lot of them I wouldn't enjoy playing, but that doesn't mean that the game is, you know, like, shouldn't be there. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, so Ranithcord asked, have I considered putting the chat on the screen when I'm in this sort of face-focused view so that people can see it? I have considered it. It can be difficult to make it look really good on the screen, which is one reason why I avoid it. And also, it's... Like, I'm so bad at skimming the chat and catching everything. I think that there would be probably more frustration of people seeing the things that I'm not seeing. Like, if you're watching this later on YouTube, you don't know what I'm not reading in the chat right now. Only the person who asked the question that I ignored. They're the one who gets frustrated. You don't know that I'm an idiot. And that I'm ignoring people. And so you get to think that I'm a better person than I am. And so I think I benefit from that. And so maybe putting the chat on the screen might actually hurt me. So maybe I shouldn't do it. So anyway, okay, you know what? I've been doing enough of this sort of messing around. We should probably end this video. I've been streaming for like over an hour now. I don't know how long. I don't know how late in the process I actually started the video. So maybe the video is only an hour. I don't know. But I've been doing this for a while. It should be shorter. So let's wrap this up. Here's a subscribe button for folks watching later on YouTube who don't know how many chat messages I'm missing. I might play this game some more. In fact, I might keep playing it right now, which means there'll be another video about it right here.